Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, we've got a bit of a surprise coming up here. Not necessarily a brilliant one, but it's a bit of a surprise. I thought we were going to have a 2x event this weekend. I think with all the New Year stuff that's going on with shard pools, where we had all of those back-to-back 2x, I think it's kind of thrown our order out of sync. And it's actually going to be a 10x event this weekend. So we're going to run through the champions that are up for grabs. Obviously, this is a poor time to pull shards. There's going to be a fusion likely starting next week. And generally, it's only if you're a Kraken or a whale or whatever, or someone who just pulls for the fun of it, then you're better off at least pulling when there's some sort of event going on. So yeah, it's going to be a whole bunch of NUKERS. It's just like arena smackers, honestly, for the majority of these. So let's go through. Some of these will definitely tempt in, I think, the Krakens out there. And if you are someone who just pulls shards whenever, this is quite a fun group to pull for, I would say. So let's start off then with the epics. This one probably less so, but a quality epic anyway. Tylesia does have an A2 smack with an increased duration of all debuffs. Does have a debuff spread on her A1 as well. This is quite interesting. So if Hex is out there, she'll spread one random debuff. And she's got an AoE drop defense, which doesn't need any books to land, which is quite cool. Most AoE drop defenses, you have to book it out to get the 100% chance to get decreased defense out there. Not with Tylesia, which is cool. It's actually a really good ability or a good champion for someone who's kind of bursting their way through the game. Because of the Hex as well, Hex plus drop defense plus increasing duration of buffs actually makes her a pretty damn decent Hydra champion. Okay base stats, a little bit squishy on the old health, but not bad. Okay, let's get into... In fact, we've got a whole bunch from this faction here. Senacia is another epic. Again, good in the arena. More so old school arena before Stone Skin was everywhere and all that type of stuff. But she does come in when she's paired with her sister, Skull Crown, with an awesome A1. Yeah, so she basically smacks really hard with this A1. Even though she's got a low base attack, she's got good multipliers. So that's a really good use for her. You basically bring her in with an ally attack. Skull Crown first, then Senacia. We call it a blender. I've done plenty of videos on this if you want to kind of search them up. But Senacia can hit hard. And then she's got a good heal on her A2, which is also kind of putting an enemy skills on cooldown. This is an okay ability, certainly for Faction Wars. And she's got an equalize heal on her A3, which is quite unique and is actually a massive heal. Works out to be very cool. So yeah, Senacia is a good epic as well. We've got Magnar. Magnar is one of the best epics in terms of arena champions that are out there. He hits really hard. He's an HP-based champion as well, which means you could build him like a bit of a tank. Really good in kind of the arena as you're working your way through the levels. He's got an A1, which has got a drop defense. He's got an A2, which is a double hit as long as there are no burns out there. If there are burns out there, then it's a single hit, but there's a chance to place a stun. So either way, it's good. And then an A3 with a debuff spread, and this hits pretty damn hard as well. He's got a passive that he heals up when burns are out there, so he's good paired with a burn champion in normal content. In the arena, you don't really want a burner out there, you just want him to absolutely smack. He does have defense in Doom Tower as well. So the last of the epics is going to be Skull Crown. Yeah, we talked about Senacia. Skull Crown's kind of similar. Less healy, more nukey. So she's got 2 AoE hits. First one, like I said with Senacia. Senacia will hit someone twice if they've got low health. Skull Crown will hit someone twice if they've got higher health. And this does do a lot of damage. The A2 is a nuke as well. AoE can place weaken. She's got the ability to be unkillable, like Leorius. Yeah, so if she drops down below 20% health, she won't die unless someone is either ignoring that buff or can remove that buff. So does bring her out to be very clutch in early game arena. And then she's got this revive with 30% HP if Senacia is around as well. Kind of guaranteeing a multitude of hits, really. Speed in arena as well, a high percentage one for an epic. That is the epic champions, and all pretty good. All pretty good, honestly. Let's get into the legendaries then. So the first one is in here, is he? No. Where are you? Maybe it's in here. Yeah, in here. First one, Foley. Foley used to be kind of meta, really. He used to be quite a highly used arena champion. He's still good. He's got this A3, which attacks all enemies and then will hit somebody else. Whoever you target will hit them twice. And anyone that dies gets a block revive. So that's all good. His multipliers are not that high on this skill. They're good, but they're not crazy. And with the amount of kind of tanky mechanics, we've got Stone Skin out there now. There's a whole bunch of reasons why he becomes less desirable than he was. Because it's on a 4-turn. In the arena, that is a long time to get back to an ability. And the rest of his abilities are not that strong. They're okay. 4-hitter. Great, by the way, if you're trying to break a finite shield or something like that. But he's not that squishy, actually. He's not bad. But yeah, in arena is where he's mainly played. And he's kind of fallen out of favour quite a lot. He does have a passive, though. Basically, stops him being CC'd. So can't be stunned, frozen, slept, or provoked. Instead, he heals and gains a massive turn meter jump. That's good in a way because you're not getting CC'd. But also, it can turn your teams upside down. Like he might end up going before champions that increase his attack, champions that drop the enemy's defense. And he relies on those things happening to really get his damage away. So Foley's a good champ, but not like a top tier champion anymore. Okay, we'll start to get onto some more juicy ones though. So Trundle's back in the mix. Back in the day, Trundle was the champion. She's now the champion in Hydra, honestly. She's the best damage dealer if you can get heads dead. Doesn't mean she's easy to use. Like, we see some crazy numbers being hit. Generally, like, those people have got a crazy supporting team to make that happen. I find, even though I've got a strong Trundle, she's not my best option for Hydra, personally. But yeah, she does do insane amount of damage. She's still one of the hardest hitting champions in the game. But the meta has moved quite a bit since she was, like, forefront the absolute best. In fact, she's probably now squeezing onto the bottom of a top 5, if that. But anyway, A1 is a stun if you put accuracy on her. A2 is kind of coded weird. So she attacks somebody and then she does another hit which can crit again. So you get like a crit for, let's say, 100k. The second hit can crit again, which means it can just spiral to silly numbers. Especially if you've got a high HP, low defense champion. So this is where she was kind of broken. The A3 as well is just like a double hit absolute smack. But it will only be a double hit if you've got low accuracy so that she doesn't stun people. And it's a bit like Magnar, really. You want to condition it so that she does the double hit rather than get her accuracy up so that she does what she's actually meant to do. In other content, though, placing HP burn and stuns is pretty good. So she can be used kind of anywhere, but in the arena is where she's really a specialist. She's got a passive as well, which kind of boosts her resistance based on the amounts of stuns she puts out there. And she gets a bit of speed as well for burns out there. But yeah, Trundle, still top tier, still an insane champion to pick up, but perhaps not quite as good as she was this time last year, for example. One of the reasons is this fella. He stole the crown of the biggest nuke, yeah, Hefrak. So he came in. He's not quite as simple to use. He's got his own funky mechanics, but Hefrak has got crazy damage. So he's got a single hit, an extra hit if he crits. He should crit every time. If he does not have a 100% crit rate, you have built him wrong. So this is a double hit in A1, and it hurts a lot. His A2 is kind of where it gets turned into complete carnage. So he's got an AoE, an extra hit on targets with less than half health. Same as Tenacia. As long as you get your first hit in and it does enough damage, he'll go again. This is one of the hardest abilities I've ever tested when I've done my maximum damage videos, yeah? It's crazy. Automatically ignores some defense as well. And his passive will instantly activate this ability if one of your team goes down. And it doesn't put it on cooldown. So you could have a level 1 squishy sitting there. They go down, Hefrak smacks, and then Hefrak's got his smack ready to go again. So yeah, Hefrak is kind of nutty. Also got some self-buffage stuff going on here with attack, crit rate, and he goes again. So you could just build him 70% crit rate. Doesn't need an increased attack champion in with him. Buffs himself, goes again, launches the nuke, and everybody sits down and says, what the hell just hit me? The Hefrak is super cool. The last champion, though, is probably on top of both of them for meta, at least in the arena, just because he just brings a bit more. and he needs less setup. So Leorius is one of the ones I use. Baron is probably better than him, but Leorius is one of the top ones. Got 2 AoE hits. Yeah, 2 abilities doing the nukes. Got an A1 with drop defense if you build him with accuracy. The A2 makes him immune to crowd control unless it's on cooldown. So once it goes on cooldown, he's no longer immune. But being immune to stuns, freezes, sleeps, all of that stuff is like the anti-Sifi, the anti-stun champ, anti-freeze. Like, he absolutely can deal with anything coming at him as long as you don't use this skill. As soon as you do, you're in danger. His A3 is an absolute nuke as well and can put out debuffs if you build him with accuracy. So his kit is kind of crazy. And then he's got a very similar passive to Skull Crowns. But it's an improved. It's like Skull Crown, I see your passive, and I times it by 2. So he's got the unkillable part. Can't take the fatal hit unless someone ignores that. But also, as he loses health, his damage goes up. When he's at 1% HP, like having survived a fatal hit, he does more damage than a Trunder on his move. So that's why he is absolutely like singing from the rooftops in the meta. The A2 kind of passive effect with this passive combined, he's got crit in all battles as well. So yeah, as a Void Legendary, he is absolutely top tier as a nuker. There you go, guys. Let me know if you're still interested in these ×10s events. And yeah, I'll catch you later.